Most people think that you need something new in order to generate more income, some new opportunity or some new idea. And that is simply not true. You can make more money with what you currently have and where you currently are. I'm Albert van Wyk, an entrepreneur, property investor, and author of my best-selling book, How to Become a Millionaire at 22. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to generate more income with what you currently have, where you currently are. Does that sound good? Awesome. And let's jump right into it. We're going to do what I call a stock take of your life. We're going to look at your skill sets, your assets, and your networks, and how we can utilize these elements to generate more income in your life and to increase your wealth. Let's start with the first one, called a skill set stock take. And the question is, what type of skills do you have that other people would be willing to pay for? Okay, think about that for a second. I'll give you a few examples of what I did in my journey. In high school, I could play guitar very well. So I taught my friends how to play guitar. And when they got real good, I employed them to teach other people how to play guitar. And what started with me just giving guitar lessons to a few friends ended with a whole music school and hundreds of kids coming in and out of my house every day. It's a skill that I had that I could sell. Similarly, in high school, when the teacher said, "Guys, tomorrow we have public speaking," everyone said, "Oh no, not public speaking." I said, "Yes," because I loved public speaking and I could write speeches very well. So I stood outside the classroom door, and as the kids came out of class, I said, $30, I got you covered. And I wrote speeches for them. And everyone that paid $30 could get their speech the next morning when they got to class. It's a skill that I had. Straight through primary school and high school, I cleaned rooms for 10 Rand a room. I washed cars for $30 a car wash, and I mowed the lawn for 25 Rand a lawn. For my parents, for the neighbors, and for the friends of the family. And I did that straight through primary school and high school. Yes, cleaning a room for 10 Rand is a skill. It's a skill that I had, that I could sell because other people didn't want to do it. And therefore, I could sell this skill to them. Okay? Think about it. What type of skills do you have? Maybe you can speak a certain language very well. Maybe you're good at a certain sport. Maybe you've reached a certain academic level. Those are all skills that you can sell. And even if you feel like you don't have any great skills at this stage, you can always learn new skills. When I started my online media company called Gazroo, I didn't know how to design a website. I didn't know how to design a logo. But I had YouTube open on the one screen and I started developing websites on the other screen. And as I went, I learned this skill. And I designed websites myself. I designed logos myself. They weren't great, but they started my business. Now today, I have professional web designers and web developers. I have professional information and graphic designers that work for me that now do these things. But that's not where it started. It started with me learning this skill, right? Understanding a skill, equipping myself with the skill, selling it, and eventually it turning into a business where we're in a corporate office park and I have a bunch of great employees doing all of these great things for our clients. So what type of skill do you have that you can sell? Can you think about one or two or three of them? Can you see how you can sell them immediately today? Right where you are, you can start making money from that skill, even if it is cleaning a room or mowing a lawn. Or maybe you have some kind of hidden skill that you put away, that you hid away, that you can use to start generating more money in your life. Okay, let's look at the second one, called an asset stock take. And the question here is, what type of assets do you have that you can either sell or rent out? Okay, just think about it for a second. What type of assets do you have that you can sell or rent out? I told you in the introduction video that I sold toys at school, and eventually I sold phones and laptops and TVs and bicycles and other people's stuff. So you don't even have to own the assets yourself. You can even sell other people's stuff, but just look around your house where you stay. How many things are there that we're not really using? You can sell those things immediately today. How many old phones, old laptops, sporting equipment, right? Hardware or whatever is lying around the yard or the house that you can actually use and sell today to generate some income for yourself. Here's another example. When I was in grade 11, I realized that all of the matric students wanted matric farewell cars. And my grandfather had this old vintage car in the garage that he always complained was not being driven. So I said, Grandpa, let me borrow the car for 2 weeks and I'll drive it for you. And then I rented that car out for matric farewells. 5 years later, I had 5 vintage cars doing 30 to 50 matric farewells every year. It changed with me borrowing someone's asset, utilizing it to generate income into a full-fledged business where I owned my own cars that was doing a lot of matric farewells every year. That's an asset that you can utilize. Today, I have a lot of properties, which are great assets. They generate rental income for me every day. But it doesn't have to be a property. You can have a car that you can rent out. You can have an extra room in your house that you can put on the market to rent out to someone on Airbnb or something. There's so many things that you can do with the assets that you already have. Can you think of a few? A few things that you can sell immediately today, maybe rent out immediately today. And that way you can start generating income right now with what you have and where you are. The final one is the network stocktake. This is the most difficult one, but also the most profitable one if you get it right. Okay? The network stocktake asks the question, who do you know that someone else would like to know? Or who do you know that someone else would be willing to pay to get access to? Okay? Think about this one for a while. Let me give you an example. When I got to university, when I studied industrial engineering at the University of Pretoria, in first year, I realized that all of the first year students wanted next year's books. And I realized that all of the second year students wanted some money. So I made sure I was on the first year WhatsApp group and on the second year WhatsApp group. And then I literally went on the first year WhatsApp group and said, hey guys, who wants to get next year's books? And then I went on the second year WhatsApp group and said, hey guys, who wants to make some money? And I stood at the same spot. And the first year came up to me, paid me the money. I took my cut, right? I paid the second year for the book, took the book and gave it to the first year. Just like that. I made money straight through university by selling secondhand books. And I didn't have to own the books. I just had to have the network. Because the first years and the second years didn't have access to each other. But I had access to both parties. And they were willing to pay for that access. Another example, the fastest money I've ever made was 36,000 Rand in 6 minutes. Why? Because when I was buying and selling cars, I had access to dealers who had specific requirements of the cars that they wanted. So I went to the dealer and said, what type of car do you want? And then he said, I want this car in this color with this engine and this price. Then I said, great. And then I went online and found the person that had that car. And I gave that person the price that they wanted, drove 6 minutes from their residence to the dealership, and then sold the car at a profit to the dealer. Just because I had access to both parties, they didn't have access to each other. So how can you utilize your network, your access, in order to generate some more income for yourself? Think about that one. So we just went through 3 types of ways that you can start generating income immediately today with what you have, where you are. You don't need to have a new idea or a new opportunity. You already have everything you need to build your wealth, grow your income, and start improving your life. All you need to do is take action on these 3 items, right? And what if you can even combine them Imagine a business where you use your skills by selling assets you already have, by utilizing a network that you already know. Imagine combining those three. Now you have a great business, a great money machine that can generate some income for you on a daily basis. Awesome. So guys, the rule of thumb here is that you can do it. You just need to start taking action. You just need to start going out and applying these three elements in your life and start making money from each of them so that you can start increasing your income right now, today.